Hello everyone and welcome! Welcome to Papercrafting Playdate. I am Robin Armbrecht and really Robin Stamps, and you are joining me today on January 7th, 2022. This is episode 44 of Papercrafting Playday. I am so glad to be back with you. How is everyone doing? I hope you are well. Thank you for joining me, and I think you're going to love today's project. We are going to dive into the new year with a fun, fast, and easy card template, and it is going to make 3 cards from one quick little template. So let me show you what I have on my stamping table. I am so glad to see you popping up. Happy New Year, everyone. How is everyone doing? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you're up to today. All right, look what we have. We've got a new mini catalog. Isn't that exciting? I'm excited. Let's see, make sure I see the comments. I think so. We're going to share this. And then we're ready to go. Awesome. Happy Friday. Okay. Let's see who's here. Hi, Sue. Hi, Susan. Hi, Judy. Hi, Jonna. Wonderful. Cold day in Missouri. Yes, it is a cold day here too. I'm freezing. My hands are freezing. All right, we've got a new catalog and I have a new template for you. Let me zoom in just a tad bit more. Let's try that. So this template is fun because it uses your pattern paper, like I said, and it is going to make multiple cards. So those are the best templates, right? Hey, Susan. Hi, Lynn. So let's look at the template. So I'm calling this template Awesome Angles because it uses some great diagonal lines. Now, somebody who knows more than I do about art design would be able to tell me what it is about angled cuts on a piece of art, or in our case, card making, that is just so beautiful, right? There's something about having an angle that really is very exciting. So this template is going to have 2 angles like this. It's super easy. So here's what you need. Since it makes 3 cards, you're going to need 3 card bases. So I've got real red card bases that are half sheets. And then you need 3 pieces of pattern paper, and they should coordinate together. These are cut. Let me put this back up here. These are cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So they're the same size as if you wanted to cover the entire front of a card base. And you just wanted to leave a little border so that your card base would show. This is the size that you would cut. So it's just a trimmed quarter sheet basically. So that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And you need 3 of those. So when you pick out any 3 patterns, you just kind of want to have them that coordinate. We're only going to use one side, so it doesn't matter what's on the other side. It's really helpful if you have one pattern that kind of has like a lot going on. It has the pattern, you know, that kind of really stands out and maybe has multiple colors. And then you also want to have some coordinating pieces that maybe aren't as busy, so that they'll kind of go together. So these are the 3 that I picked out, And I know we just turned the corner from Christmas, right? I just hate it when the holidays all run into each other. I know it's annoying, right? But such is life that Valentine's Day is not that far away, right? So we're actually, we actually have to play with this paper now. Otherwise our time's going to run out on it. So this is called Sweet Talk, and it's one of the great bundles that's in the new mini catalog. Let me show you here. So we've got right here, I'm on page 9. It's this whole bundle suite, this whole suite of products is called Sweet Talk. And there's a bundle of a stamp set and dies. There's paper, there's little boxes, there's these beautiful iridescent rhinestones, and there's an embossing folder. So there's a lot going on there. Beautiful, fun colors in this Valentine's Day paper. So that's what we're going to start with first. And this real red linen ribbon, it's really beautiful. All right, so I can tell I'm out of practice here. I am all over the map. Okay, 3 card bases, 3 pieces of designer series paper, and then you want to also have 3 pieces of just regular copy paper, printer paper that are cut the same size. And this is really optional, but you'll see how it kind of helps. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the angled cuts on our designer series paper. Hi, Cheryl. You've been playing with designer series paper too? Good. It's okay. You kind of get tired of, you're seeing the Christmas papers, and it is time to move on to something else, isn't it? So I'm going to put these all going in the same direction. This is going to be a vertical or a portrait card. So I want to make sure that my patterns are all going in the same direction. And I'm going to put this one on top. Now you can just eyeball these measurements, truly. You don't have to measure, but just so you can kind of see where we're going to make these cuts. You want to measure down 1 inch from the left corner on the left side, and then you want to measure up 1 inch approximately from the bottom of the left corner, okay? And then on the right side, you want to measure approximately down 2 inches and then approximately up 2 inches. Okay, so 1 inch on this side, 2 inches on this side. And that'll just give you some general guidelines for how you're going to cut these angles, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a line between this 1 inch mark on the left side and the 2 inch mark on the right side. And that's going to give us that first angled cut. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to go like this. Okay, so I'm going to cut all 3 at the same time because it's thinner designer series paper, and my paper trimmer can handle that. If that doesn't work for your paper trimmer, just cut them one at a time. So I'm lining up the tick marks here that I just marked with my dark gray cutting where the cutter, oh my goodness, where the cutter's going to go. And I'm going to cut that first one. Okay, and then I'm going to move my paper and I'm going to line this up between the other 2 tick marks. So this one was 1 inch from the bottom, this one was 2 inches from the bottom. Once you do this one time, you can pretty much eyeball it. Okay, so here's what it looks like after I get it cut. And now what we have to do is just give each pile here. So remember, we're making 3 cards, all right? So we're going to just do a little sort here so that we have 1 piece of each design for each card, like that, okay? Now, this is where the copy paper comes in. And again, I said this copy paper step is optional. You can just go and glue these right on top of your card base. But sometimes what happens is you get just a little off and then it's a little crooked. So if you, if that upsets you, definitely use this step of the copy paper because I think you'll be happier with the end results. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and we're just going to add a little bit of glue. And we're going to put this right on top of the copy paper. Now you could use white, Whisper White, Basic White cardstock for this step, but it's not showing. You don't really need to add a layer. So I like the idea of using the copy paper and saving my precious, you know, cardstock. All right, so there's our first one. I know we have people watching from all over the United States and maybe even out of the country. You should leave in the comment, what is your temperature today in January, the first week of January, where you live? What is the temperature, if you kind of have an idea? I think it's like 11 degrees here in Springfield, Illinois. So this step of adding it to the copy paper is going to just allow me then to, before I put it on my cardstock, I can just give it a quick trim and make sure all the edges are straight. Oh, Sue, you said 9. Okay, so it's obviously 9 degrees here too, because we're 13 degrees. Yes, Karen. Yikes. Lynn, you said it's 14? Okay. We got to be somewhere between there, right? Margie, it's up to 10. You have snow. Hi, Cindy. Okay, so here's my third one. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to trim these up and we're going to plop them right on our card fronts. Now, you can completely customize this template and make your marks any way you want. Pat, 79 degrees, that's not that's not fair. That's really, really not fair. Oh, but I'm glad you're somewhere warm. All right, let's see. This one doesn't really need to be trimmed too much. I'm just going to take a little bit off the top here where I see my copy paper. And let's check this one out. We'll do a little bit on this side. And let's see about this one. That one looks pretty good too. This copy paper step just kind of alleviates any stress too about really worrying about, oh, am I going to get these lined up right? Okay, what I was starting to say was that you can adjust these tick marks any way that you want. There's no hard and fast rule here. If you want your angles to be different, you want maybe one to be very, you know, you want this middle one to be very wide and these to be thinner, or you want them to be opposite of that, just change the measurements. Okay, so now I'm going to add these to the card. Like that. Oh, Cheryl just gave a great tip. I love that. You could just use your grid paper, even like your used paper after you stamp, you know, when you have to have paper underneath while you're working and you've got that paper that you don't want to throw away. If you've saved that, you can use that. And that way you will even be recycling and using paper. It's a great idea, Cheryl. You are always thinking. Okay, so now I've got my 3 cards, and all that they need is your greeting, right? And a little embellishment. So I thought it would be fun to bring in this stamp set and the colors in these cards. Isn't this a fun color combination? Real Red, Highland Heather, and Blush Blossom. Makes a great Valentine's Day kind of color combination. And then of course this paper pops in Granny Apple Green and Pool Party and some So Saffron. So it's really very bright and happy. So I already cut out with the dies that bundled with the stamp set. There's this sweet little tag, and so I already cut those out. And we're going to take one little set of stamps here, and let's just stamp a little tag. So we've got some nice distressed looking watercolor marks. So let's do a pink heart. Oh, I love how that stamps. It's so pretty. And then we'll do this outlined heart on top in the red. And then we'll add a little red ribbon. This ribbon's very nice. It is so thin. I guess it's called faux linen. It's not actually linen or made of linen, but it's nice and malleable. So it makes it really, really easy to tie into knots, or if you're going to tie it into a bow, it's very simple. So I'm just going to put a simple knot at the top. Okay, so there's just a cute little tag. It doesn't need a whole lot because the paper here is doing all the work, right? So I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Now your focal point on this layout can literally go anywhere. It looks great in any location. You just want to make sure you're crossing one of the angled lines, right? Hello, Miss Mindy. How are you today? I'm so happy to see your name pop up too. Let's see. I think I want this right here. And then I've already made 2 other little tags with some of the other greetings that come in that Sweet Conversation stamp set. I'll let you peek at that there. So this is the first week back to work for a lot of people. Let's see, put that one there. I know for me, it was kind of rough. Like this was, I felt like a detox week in every way. It was just like trying to eat a little bit better, trying to get more sleep, trying to, you know, put Christmas away, and it was kind of rough. So when I found this template, I thought this is good. This is simple. We can work with this. All right. So the only thing that these cards need now is an embellishment, and I'm going to use these beautiful iridescent rhinestones. They pick up all kinds of colors, you know, depending on what you put them over. So we're just going to bling that up and put 3 little beauties on all of these. All right, what do you guys think about this template? Hi, Carol from Connecticut. Oh, you had COVID. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, you went back to the Fit Club. Yes, it's just a rough week. Or maybe it's just me. I'm not sure, but I'm happy, not happy, but I'm glad you're kind of in the same boat. Let's see, let's put this one right there. All right, so we've got 3 cards, super quick template. Can you see the sparkle on those rhinestones? They look all like they're all different colors, right? So when I knew I was making a card template, that got me really excited because I knew that that would mean that I was going to dive into my pattern paper, right? So I did some homework and I put this together. It always helps me when I have new products or I have new purchases, right? I get completely overwhelmed sometimes by new things because I don't know, there's just a lot to play with and I'm not sure where to start. So one of the things that really helps me is to just kind of break some things down. And so putting together things that coordinate together, knowing what colors match my designer series paper, that is extremely helpful to me. So I spent some time doing that and that made everything so much better. So we're going to walk through a lot of the designer series papers today. So also in the new January to June mini catalog, there is this Flowering Fields paper. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And this paper goes with a suite of products, I believe. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. So this suite is called Flowering Fields, just like the name of the paper. And it has these two sets. There's like this whole tulip set, and then there's the windmill set. I didn't get any of that yet. I just got the paper because I just think the paper's gorgeous, and I needed to start there. So would you like to see this template with this paper? Here are my Flowering Fields designs. So you can see I used this piece and this piece and this piece. So one of the things that I wanted to try was to just use my little stitchery stamp set here. And I took some white, Whisper White craft ink, and I just stamped a little bit of a stitch along those seams. And I thought that turned out really cute too. So that's something additional you can add. I just used the little tulip builder punch because I did, like I said, I didn't buy those stamp sets. I'm not sure that I will because this paper really stands alone. It's beautiful. And here are the new brushed brass butterflies. They are very fun. They're nice and thin. They don't pop up, right? So they're great for mailing. So those cards made me extremely happy. And then, let's see, then I went with the Heart and Home paper, which I've kind of showed you. We got a sneak peek of that a few months ago. We got to play with that. That paper coordinates with these two stamp sets, this Blessings of Home and the Honeybee Home. And there's this whole suite of products called Heart and Home. It's beautiful. Nice, cool colors. A lot of the in colors. You've got Fresh Freesia and Misty Moonlight and Pale Papaya and Cinnamon Cider. So you've got a lot of those colors. So I put together a set of cards with this template using the Heart and Home paper. And in this case, I put a tag on here so you can see really the focal point or whatever, wherever you're going to plop your greeting. It doesn't matter. It can be any shape, any size. This template's great because it just creates a background on your card front. Now for these, I wanted you to see, hopefully you can see this. I took 3 different embossing folders, and once I added my pattern paper to my copy paper, I just ran each one through an embossing folder before I added it to my card base so that it would just give it a little texture. So this is the gingham, the new gingham embossing folder. This is the new hive, I believe it's called. It looks like honeycomb. And then this one is my tried and true textile Oh, I'm getting the name wrong. It's like, it looks like fabric. It's just very subtle that way. So I thought those were really cute. Okay, so that is the paper that I have so far from the new mini catalog. Let's just take a peek at the celebration catalog, because that's new too. This just started this week, and if you're not familiar with Celebration, let me just tell you, it's a great sale. It happens twice a year now, and it's a 2-month sale where Stampin' Up! Will give you a free item of your choice for a $50 order, and that's like unlimited. So if you ordered $150, you would get 3 items. So there are, let's see, there are 6 choices that you can get with a $50 order. There are 4 stamp sets and 2 packs of paper. So we've got this stamp set, we've got this beautiful Daffodil Afternoon paper, and these 2 stamp sets. So much fun. These are great for watercoloring. We got the Sunshine and Rainbows. We're going to use that in just a second, so don't go away. And then we've got this Marvelous paper and this cute otter set. So all of those are available with a $50 order for free. And then there's 2 items that are a little bit stepped up. This is a bundle. You get the stamp set and the paper. For a $100 order, you get that bundled together free, or you get this like mega greeting stamp set with a $100 order. It's called Special Moments. Great greetings there. So that's Celebration. So I thought it would be fun just to show you another version. So this is that great Daffodil Afternoon paper. I know I showed you this a few weeks ago. We made some other projects with it. It's just beautiful. It has so many great colors in it. Coordinates with any set that you have that might have daffodils. Totally goes with that. But I've been using it also with my daisy punch. I've been using it with my small flower punch, and you don't have to have daffodils to make it work. Here's the other side here. Nice small little patterns to use. So I wanted to show you that one of the things you could do with this template, let me just bring that back out so you can see it. When you pick your 3 sheets to use, if you say you only have 2 sheets of pattern paper that really you want to use or that go together, you can substitute for the 3rd a piece of neutral cardstock or a piece of colored cardstock. So I went ahead and made a set of cards using the template with these 3 pieces. I used Berry Vanilla and then the 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and got these cards here. And what that was kind of nice too, because then it allowed me to stamp right on that Berry Vanilla chunk, and it even simplified the process even more, because then I didn't have to add an extra you know, something, an extra punch out or an extra die. It was all, you know, stamped right on the paper. So I love the variation of doing that as well. And they're just so bright and happy. Black and yellow are just so lovely. So let me show you another variation. And I'm going to bring in this celebration item. This is the Sunshine and Rainbows paper. It is impossible to look at this paper and not smile. It's very happy. I love it. So many great colors to play with. So I picked out 3 pieces from the 12, well, more than that, because there's another whole side to these. So you get really 24 different patterns to play with. So I picked out my 3 favorites that I wanted to go together. and I put these together. Again, I picked one that kind of pulled in all the colors. And then I picked one that kind of coordinated, that had the colors. And then I picked one that just kind of would tie it all together, right? So no matter how these would line up, they would look coordinated, all right? So let me show you, if you're gonna use 6x6 paper with this template, here's another idea that you can do. All right, so here is the direction that I want my patterns to go when I cut. So I'm going to cut a piece like this. But in this case, instead of cutting my initial paper at 4 inches by 5 1/4, I'm going to make it slightly smaller so that I could mount this piece on another piece of coordinating cardstock. So this is like, if you want to step it up a little bit, you would just make your designer series papers a little bit smaller. So before I do that, I'm going to just show you how you can use up this entire chunk of pattern paper. So I'm going to take 1 inch off the bottom essentially before I make my cut. And then I'm going to cut, instead of 4 inches, I'm going to cut it 3 3/4. And then this is at 5 because I just took off that inch. Okay, so I'm going to save these and we're going to make bonus cards out of those. Let me move those over here. So what I have here is 3 sheets and they're 3 3/4 by 5 instead of the 4 by 5 1/4. So it's just a 1/4 inch smaller. And then I'm going to cut them at the angle. Now I'm just going to eyeball it because this is what I'm going to encourage you to do. So this is 2, right? 1 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches, 2 inches. So you just kind of eyeball it because it really doesn't matter, especially if you cut them all at the same time. All right, so there's our pieces. Now I'm not going to do all of these. I'm just going to show you this extra step that you can add. Isn't this paper happy? Oh my goodness. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to just glue one of these on here because you know how to do that. So let's take this one. So I just trimmed my copy paper down too for this particular card. I made it the 3 3/4 by 5. You guys will be so proud of me. This PDF is already up on my blog. So because this is trimmed and it's 1/4 of an inch smaller, you're going to have the extra space to add a coordinating color. So I have a piece here that's 4 by 5 1/4. Like that, and then we're going to put that on a white card base. Right? So I'm just varying this template to make it have an extra layer, give it a little more color, that sort of thing. If you buy only one thing in the next 6 months with this mini catalog, I suggest you get this cloud punch because it is so much fun. I would like to just punch clouds for a whole afternoon. This is so cute. So we're going to put a little cloud here for our greeting. And I'm going to bring in the stamp set that coordinates with this whole pack of paper here. Just to pull out a little greeting. for our cloud. A little something to brighten your day. And then this little rainbow stamp set has all these cute little art marks in here. So I'm going to use a couple of those. It's got some little dashes and dots, and we'll just add some things to our cloud here around our greeting. So here's just a little, we'll add a little So Saffron there. And then we'll add some dots within some pool party. Like that. Isn't that cute? I don't know. This is just happy paper. So I thought it would be fun before I pop that up to bring in some of this metallic mesh ribbon, because it kind of just reminded me of like rain or I don't know, sparkles. It's just sparkly. So I'm going to just kind of cut it around my cloud like that. Make it a little more rounded as I put that down. Like that. And then to finish it off, we've got the Silver and Clear Epoxy Essentials, and you get a sheet of clear and a sheet of silver, and you get diamond shapes, teardrops, and circles in this pack. So perfect for this to add a couple little shimmery not teardrops, but raindrops. It kind of picks up the sparkle on that mesh ribbon. Okay. I hope this card made your day. Sure made mine. It's so cold. It makes me warm too. Colors are nice and warm. So let me show you how the other ones turned out. So I made another set here. Here's the first set I made. Like that. Okay, so you just got lots of happy colors there. Okay, now we talked about how I cut that 6x6 paper, right? So when I cut an inch off the bottom, I'll have this pattern tomorrow on my blog so you can utilize your whole piece, right? So at first I cut off the inch on the bottom. This was my 6x6 pieces, right? I cut off an inch, and then I cut 3 3/4 by 5, and I've got these strips left over. So what you can do is take this set of strips, the 1-inch strips, and just make it measure 5. Like that. And now you've got these pieces are the same. So what you can do is mix and match and put together some cute little cards that will be bonus cards. And then you'll just kind of use up all of these, you know, it just makes you feel good because you've used it all up. So you can put that together, put that one with that one and that, or you can flip it around. Oh, let's do polka dots. See, you can do whatever you want. And then you can make some narrow cards. So I just cut these cards. This is a half sheet of cardstock. But not quite. It's trimmed at 3 3/4 by 11. And then you can just layer those pieces together and get some bonus cards. So 3 3 pieces of designer series paper and you can put together 6 cards. I think that's a good deal. All right. I think these are my favorite of the day, but I don't know. I love those tulip ones. You guys have a favorite so far? And then what you're left with are these cute little squares. There's all kinds of things you can do with little 1-inch squares. So save those and you'll be able to put those on another project too. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you today is the rest of the, excuse me here, you can see my camera's getting tired. There we go. So here is the other set of pattern paper in the Celebration catalog. This is the one that comes with this stamp set. It's bundled together. Friendly Hello. Again, such cute, happy colors. Here's the other side. So I took these papers and made a set of cards with those. Just because we're trying out all the papers today. Okay. Now, here's the last thing I want to tell you about this template and show you the last set of papers. So we have a set of papers called Simply Marvelous, because they look like marble. So this pack of paper has 6 different colors, but the same kind of patterns. So you get 48 sheets. And there's a wide, not a wide, but like a larger marble shape on one side. And then there's this smaller, more subtle pattern on the other side. What's cool about this paper is that there's really 2 tones in every single sheet. So this piece right here coordinates with Balmy Blue and Misty Moonlight, a little bit of Night of Navy. This one goes with Smoky Slate and Basic Gray. This one coordinates with, what are the greens? Coastal Cabana and Just Jade, maybe. This one's Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. So you can really, really use it with a lot of colors. So I just wanted to give you an idea here. We're not going to put the cards together all the way, but let's say you just have one piece of designer series paper that you want to use for this template. You can totally make that work. Find a coordinating cardstock color and then use a neutral. So these are going to be my 3 pieces that I used to put this template together. This is Blushing Bride, and I just went ahead and used the gingham folder to make it more interesting. So I don't have background paper, but I'm just going to make some embossed paper. So let's stack those. And here's another option. Instead of cutting it and making a portrait card, you can turn it and make it horizontal in the same way. So you just kind of do the same thing, but instead of 2 inches on the one side, you go 1 inch here, you kind of do like 1 1/4. Like that. And then 1 inch to about 1 1/4. And this creates wider angles. So you get something that looks like this. It's just like a puzzle. Like that. And so when you put them together, you're going to get a wide version. And again, if you put a neutral piece in there, you can just stamp your greetings right on there. So let me show you a set that I did with the blue. And I used 3 different stamp sets. that are celebration stamp sets. The Catching Butterflies, the Awesome Otters, and the Driving By. I didn't do any coloring here. I just stamped them in Night of Navy and did a little blending with my blending brush, added a little wink of Stella to them. And so these are, you know, monochromatic, but it still is a great use of this template. So you just turn it and cut it a little bit differently. Okay. What else? I feel like, I hope I made sense today. I feel like I haven't done this for a while. What do you guys think? Let's bring out our, let's bring them all out here. We've got those and those. And our Valentines. Yeah, we don't have room, do we? So many to choose from. I'm going to feature the Valentine's Day cards on my blog with step-by-step directions today, and then tomorrow I will have the other samples up there. The PDF is already up there for you if you want to dive in and do some creating and not have to think too hard. I do have a hostess code for this month, and with my hostess code this month, not only if you spend $50 do you get your free celebration item, you will also get a package of embellishments from me, and I have 5 choices that you can pick from. You can pick whichever one you want, so that's very exciting. Yeah. You guys, thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope that you give this template a try and then share your pictures with me, because I'd love to see what you come up with. And yeah, Happy New Year, and I will see you again soon. Bye.